This is Justin Haywald reading Brett Todd's review of Agents of Mayhem. Agents of Mayhem isn't what you'd call a subtle game. The single-player adventure from Saints Row developer Volition is all about being larger than life with intense superhero versus supervillain combat and raunchy protagonists who drop F-bombs almost as much as they drop real bombs. Unfortunately, the game doesn't offer much more than a to-the-extreme attitude, which wears out its welcome in record time. You take on the role of the titular Agents of Mayhem, a group of future superheroes that look and feel like the R-rated offspring of the 80s G.I. Joe cartoon and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. These agents float above the world in a helicarrier-like fortress called the Ark, but you spend most of your time with them on the battlegrounds of Seoul, South Korea, a crisp and clean metropolis dotted with sky-high towers. It's there you wage war against the League of Evil Gentlemen intent on obliterating nations.
The crystal encased in its shell has a dark matter resonance, more than sufficient for the Morning Star's plans.
Basic elements of the story and setting work well in establishing an initial mood and place. Seoul's whitewashed future tech and industrial design make it more than just a battleground. And while it's a little too sterile to embrace the quirkiness of something like Grand Theft Auto V's Los Santos, it's still a memorable location that feels alive in its own over-the-top way. Agents tackle Legion in 3-person squads, although they fight one at a time with you, swapping them in and out depending on personal preference and the challenge at hand. Squads can be fully customized on the Ark before missions. There are a dozen agents on the roster, each with skill and weaponry specialties that you earn as you level up. Your heroes include Hardtack, the hulking former naval officer who totes a shotgun and has a special harpoon attack, and Kingpin, the rapping gang leader with an SMG, to name just a few. Try as they might to elicit a laugh, the agents fail to be likable characters. This is in part due to the tired tropes and stereotypes they embody. But look beyond their superficial flaws, and it's their dialogue, along with most of the writing in Agents of Mayhem, that'll make you cringe the most.
That thing is a big f***ing ball of pure dark matter energy, man.
Shoot! Don't shoot! Look, I don't have time for something.
The entire game seems to have been scripted to the tastes of a 12-year-old boy, with non-stop swearing and ceaseless one-liners comprising the bulk of dialogue. You want me to f*** it up, don't you? Don't you? Insists Hardock before firing his mayhem mines, and cutscenes fall flat with jokes such as,
Hell yeah! Franchise Force is back in action!
Franchise what now?
Franchise Force. I gave us a nickname.
You can't just give yourself a nickname.
At least the villains are somewhat more interesting than the heroes. Boss battles feature the most engaging combat of the entire game, with gimmicks based around each villain's character and plot. But everything here still trips over failed attempts at humor.
Do not fret, though, Agent, for I have a final present for you. And Persephone.
I hope you got a gift receipt.
Just you wait.
At first, the explosive combat is fun and impactful. When you fire a shotgun or detonate some mines or even just launch an arrow, you feel it. But you quickly get worn down by doing the same things on repeat. It doesn't take long for the game's initially exciting explosions to fade into the background. Repetition is the hallmark of the actual missions, no matter what villain you happen to be battling. You fight through the same corridors of the same underground Legion layers spread throughout Seoul, killing the same helmeted troopers over and over again. In most cases, missions involve a lot of pointless traveling across the city for no apparent purpose aside from stretching things out. Sometimes you have to make your way to the tops of buildings to keep things rolling, again, for often no clear reason. And to top everything off, bugs and glitches occur with unfortunate frequency. Personality can only take a broken and repetitive game so far. The attitude behind Agents of Mayhem has potential, at least if it's executed properly. But there's little to Agents of Mayhem beyond its foul-mouthed and bombastic attitude. It just pushes the game into grating and obnoxious territory. Throw in the poor mission design and bugs, and you've got a game with loads of mayhem, but not much else.
What could Legion be doing at the planetarium?
They are building a secret base on Uranus.
Ha! That's funny!